Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Good Intentions with Lisa-Tien. That is me. I have not recorded an episode, I think for 4 weeks, just because I've had so many on deck that I would just edit those and post those. But I guess we'll do a life update. So I am officially full-time at the South Lake location, so slay on that. That has been amazing and I've been busy, so I haven't I was going to say I haven't had time, but that's a lie. Like whenever I get home around 7:30, I just eat dinner and kind of want to just wind down, and I haven't really been motivated. Sorry, I don't know why I'm deciding to put in these earrings right now, but yeah, I haven't really been motivated to record an episode. I think just because I know that I had all of those stacked up. So the procrastination is real this week. It is January 18th, I believe. I don't know why I'm saying the date. I'm literally going to post this tomorrow. So it's Sunday. TikTok is banned. That's been a huge topic. I never really watch TikToks though. I just post and make videos on TikTok. So I'm definitely going to miss the validation from getting all the likes, because Instagram Reels, why? Why are y'all hoeing me? Why am I only getting like 100 views, 6 or 7 likes, but on TikTok I'll get on average 70 likes, 40 to 70, sometimes 300. Like why? What's the algorithm? Cuz I would prefer to be Instagram famous. I mean, that would be dope. That's the goal, right? Is make it big on Soch, work for myself, be a mindset and or fitness coach, build my own empire, influence people to want to better themselves and have a great, amazing, wonderful growth mindset and learn how to love themselves and be happy and just love life. You know what I mean? So I got bangs. Cute. I got my extensions taken out because I need to get these roots done. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. I'm so fucking pumped. So, life update. Yes, we are into the new year 2025. Do you guys have any goals out there? And I don't want to say New Year's resolutions, but like just goals in general. We're going into a new year, setting an intention. I drop it in the comments. I would love to know what you guys have going on, what y'all want to change, what you guys want to be better at. Oh my God, I'm so struggling with putting these. Anyway, the other Saturday, okay, so we're like halfway into January, right? I haven't drank all month, except for I went and saw Shane Gillis the other Saturday. That was so much fun. I wasn't planning on drinking, but my friend was like, "Oh, I'll get you a drink." And I was like, "Okay." So I had just one. It was a double, but I'm getting this fucking earring in. I felt like that one drink fucked me up in a lot of different ways. Just the one drink was good, right? I'm feeling great-ish, like whatever. I would have been down to go out. That probably would have been extremely chaotic if I had gone out. But look, I'm like breaking out. I think Shane Gillis was last Saturday or the Saturday before that. So okay, let me rewind. Before the new year, my friends and I got together and we made a 2025 bingo card of things that we want to do, not necessarily goals, but just like activities or whatever. And then we just mark it off throughout the year, and that'll be like a motivation, like we're doing something. And on there, I want to lose 40 pounds. I know that sounds like a crazy amount, but I'm 5'2". I'm 159 pounds right now. In 2023, I got down to, I think, like 135. So in the last 2 years, I have put on a little more weight than I would have liked. But, I've had a lot going on with being in an abusive relationship and moving out, moving back in, just spiraling, right? We're just lost. We're just trying to like ground down somewhere. So I decided that what better time to do it than now? And I feel like I've been doing so good. So I decided that I don't really want to drink. I may drink on special occasion, but if it is going to make my skin break out, right? So I was looking back on old TikToks before the TikTok shit got banned, and I saw my skin around the summertime. And around the summertime I was going out, not like all of the time, but maybe once a week, like on the weekend or whatever. And maybe after work, I would go have dinner and drinks with one of my friends and whatever. So I'm watching these videos and like, yes, like I've got a little bit of acne on my cheeks, like on my mustache area. And my skin was popping off all of this month. I am telling you, it was the best that my skin had ever looked. I didn't know it was. Also, I did go out to eat yesterday. We, my best friend and I went and ate at Japan House, all you can eat sushi. That was the first time I ate out all month, which is crazy because it's only been like 17 or 18 days. But me reflecting back on the last 6 months, I can count on both hands how many times that I've actually meal prepped. And that's crazy because that means that I ate out that much. And if I wasn't picking up food, I was door dashing food. And if I wasn't door dashing food, I was stopping at the gas station, getting hot Cheetos, flaming hot Ruffles, Snickers, sugar, like all that fucking shit, right? So I stopped. I started meditating twice a day. And I feel like when I meditate, it grounds you. It helps you be more present. Depending on the type of meditation that you're doing, I like to do Joe Dispenza's guided meditations because he's speaking and you have something to like kind of focus on. If I just have like meditative yoga music or whatever on with nothing going on and I'm trying to like focus on my breathing, your mind wanders, and your mind may still wander off when you're doing a guided meditation anyway, but it's not about being perfect. Your mind is going to wander off, but it being guided gives you something to focus on, the words, the intention, right? And I love his meditations because a lot of it is visualizing your future self and how you want to be different and all of that good stuff. So in those meditations, I'm visualizing my future self. I'm not drinking. I'm meal prepping. I'm got my fitness bod going on. I am making decisions that I'm proud of. And I'm taking action towards my goals and where I want to be at in life. And doing that every day, it's like a spirituality gym. It's like a mindset gym, right? We go to the gym 5 days a week or whatever for our body, but what are we doing for our mental health, our brain health, our mindset? Like you have to practice. And it literally is just a practice. So I'm doing the same like morning and night meditation, which is about like 15 minutes per meditation. And then throughout the day, I'll listen to like a Lewis Howes podcast or Jay Shetty or just little videos on YouTube that kind of help with the growth mindset. And so you're continuously training yourself to be present and focus on excitement of the future. That way you can manifest whatever you want, right? So the thing with manifestation is people think that you can think about what you want and then that's it. But that's not it. Because a lot of us have limiting beliefs. What are limiting beliefs? It's exactly what it sounds like. It is a thought that you have about yourself that it keeps you stuck and keeps you held back. And a lot of us aren't even aware that we have these limiting beliefs. And a lot of these beliefs are programmed into us by the age of 7. Right? So everyone has, what is this thing called? Like your reticular activating system. So every one of us sees life in filters. And the filters is what we were raised to believe based off of our parents, based off of the friends that we had, the schools, the teachers, right? And I would say a lot of people have a negative mindset. The news is not a positive thing, right? Politics isn't ever really a positive thing. Like when people talk about it, they are upset, they are angry that other people don't have the same beliefs that they do, right? Money mindset. A lot of people are afraid of money, or they feel like they live in lack. So they feel like the more money they make, okay, so they think that the more money they make, it will help their issues. That's not necessarily true. So you have to shift your mindset, right, from these limiting beliefs, which means you have to wake up, be conscious of the thoughts that you are thinking, take action and practice into shifting it so you change the filter and you see life through a different view, through a different perception, something that is more in abundance, right? I'll give you an example. So let's talk about money. A lot of people have this belief that money is limited, or money is evil, or you have to cheat or steal or rip people off to be successful, to make that, millions of dollars or whatever. And as long as you continue to have the mindset of lack, even if you are making more money, your problems aren't ever going to go away. So if you feel like I can't ever have enough money, everything's so expensive, and you somehow are able to, get a promotion or whatever and bring in more money, your mindset isn't all of a sudden going to change just because you have more money. You're going to have more money, but you're going to still have the same problems because you haven't taken a step back to look within, to be aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. So the more money you make, the more problems you are still going to have, because you're going to be like, oh, well, this is expensive and this is expensive and this is expensive. And how am I going to pay for all of this when you're making, over 6 figures or double that, So mindset. And what is mindset? It's just your thoughts and what you believe. So a lot of people, you may be able to manifest something, right? To manifest the relationship that you've always wanted, or manifest the job that you've always wanted. But if you're not shifting your mindset, you get what you want, but then it goes away. It doesn't stick, right? You get the relationship and the guy that you want, but because you haven't shifted your mindset, you haven't been able to be present and understand and be conscious of what you're thinking. You might still have these insecurities, and those insecurities might bring up arguments, right? So this guy that you're dating, everything is great and wonderful in those first couple months or weeks or whatever, and then years, whatever, and then you move in and then you're like, oh, well, they're not taking out the trash, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, but they may be doing other things to contribute. But because you have this mindset, you aren't able to express or show gratitude for the things that they are doing. And then you only focus on the negative, on what they're not doing. Throw a baby into that. Throw money into that. Throw sex into that. That is why it is so important to just stand still, right? You can just sit there without having to pull up TikTok or Instagram or whatever and think about what you're thinking. A lot of people live in this, it's like we're on autopilot and we don't even know, like driving through traffic, getting pissed off that someone didn't use their blinker, or they're speeding, or they're not driving fast enough, or whatever. And then you're at work and your client's late and now you're mad. And it's all of this like energy that you feel, okay, can be valid. Yeah, sure. Everyone can feel however they want to feel. But I'm telling you, when it's all negative and it's like triggering you, if somebody is triggering you, it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with them, right? If you have a button that other people can press, That's not those people. That's you having a button for them to even push on. And a lot of people aren't aware that when you shift your mindset, you can get rid of that button and other people can be whoever they are, whatever, and it doesn't faze you. It doesn't bother you. And then you live a happy fucking life. So my January started off with a fucking bang. I feel like the ADHD unhingedness is unhinging. I decided, right, I'm not going to hook up. I'm not going to date until the summertime. And when I do start dating, I'm not going to be hooking up with these guys like I usually do. We're going to date. I'm going to see if we have the same values. What is your intention? And if I feel like something might happen, moving forward, then we'll build a connection and I'll see if this is something that I want, right? Instead of just, oh my God, he's so fucking hot. Like, I want to fuck him right now. So, side piece, yep, we hooked up. It just happened and it was actually a lot of fun. But when I was driving home, I immediately wanted to smoke. And I was like, wow, it makes sense, in movies when people like have a cigarette after they have sex. I was like, I really want to vape right now. And that was fine. But the next day, because I had like a 2-hour gap in my schedule, I was fiending for a vape so fucking hard. I hit one of the girls' vapes at work. And still, I was like, I had already decided that I'm going to get one. And when I've already decided that, I just am not going to talk myself out of it because it's just what I want to do. And that's very ADHD. That's very chasing dopamine. Whatever. So I stopped and got a vape. And when I was there, I had the thought of, I want the frozen white grape. Because I saw that the last time I bought a vape. And every time I go buy one, there's always like 2 flavors I'm trying to decide between. And then I'll choose one. And then like, I will still want the other one, right? So I walk in. The idea is, I want the frozen white grape. But then I see that there's a frozen cherry apple. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds so good. And I'm talking to the girl and I'm like, which one's more popular, do you think? Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, well, I don't really know. Like, we restock it pretty often. I don't know. Maybe it's the white grape. And I'm like, oh, that's what I originally wanted. But now I want to try the cherry or whatever. And she was like, well, do you like cherry and apple? And I was like, yeah, I do. And she was like, well, just get one. And if you don't like it, you can get another one. And I'm just like, I don't think you understand that this is the last time I'm buying one. So the flavor has to fucking pop off. So I just went with my gut and instinct because that's what I had my mindset on, was the white grape. So I got that. It slaps. It actually tastes really similar to the white gummy. So I was like, wait, is this a fucking ripoff? So I kept thinking about the cherry apple. And today, after the gym, I decided I'm going to stop and get the cherry apple. And I did. And now I have 2 vapes. Fuck! But the thing is, I've never finished a whole vape, like, ever. I buy one, I hit it for a weekend, I'll hit it for a week, 2 weeks tops, unless I'm very unhinging. But yeah, I'll hit it until it's maybe like 50%, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give this away because this is how it works for me. I'll hit it, it tastes good, right? But then like a few seconds later, I don't feel great. And in order to bypass the I don't feel great is you have to continue to hit it like throughout the day. And then you just like, oh my God, the flavor grows on you and then you want to hit it even more. It's the fucking addiction, right? I'm still in the phase where it doesn't feel great. And I keep it in the car because if I take it inside, I will hit it nonstop. I'll be laying in bed Like, it starts off slow, and then after a few days or a week or so, I'm hitting it more than I fucking breathe. So that's an issue, right? And now we have 2. And at some point within these next few days, I'm going to have to just give it away. Unless I can just have it, hit it like on the weekends. But you know me, I'm very obsessive. Just like I'm very obsessed with the side piece. Like I am so obsessed with that. It's dopamine, right? It's the dopamine. So I've been obsessed with that man since the second I saw his Hinge profile, and I was just like, I want this. You. Everything about his profile made me LOL, ADHD as fuck, like just whatever. I adore him. But like, we don't even fucking know each other. Anyway, I cut his hair the other day. Gave him I think, one of the best haircuts ever. And he looked so good. Anyway, love you. And then we had sex. So that was fun. Okay, I feel like whenever I started to notice the spiral, it's really, okay, sleep. So the weekend that I went to the comedy show, I think that Friday night, I had coffee a little bit later in the day. So my sleep quality wasn't the best, because that's another thing that I wanted to do was just to sleep at the same time every day, go to bed early, 10:30, the latest. If I can get to 9 p.m., that would be great. Also, I've been setting an alarm at 5 a.m. on my work days to get to the gym, which is a fucking slay, because at South Lake, I'm busy. Our work schedule is 9 to 7 or 9 to 6, and then on Saturdays it's 10 to 3. So if I'm going to the gym during the week, I have to wake up at 5. Something I'm still working on, however, because I will set an alarm at 5, but I hit snooze for 30 minutes or 45 minutes. So I get into the gym and I maybe get like 45 minutes or an hour of a workout, which is fine. But usually if I do like a full workout with rests in between, intensity, it takes me about an hour and a half. So things that I'm working on still: getting to bed early, waking up at 5, not hitting snooze, because I'm sure that also affects how you feel throughout the day, is like the waking up every 9 minutes just to go back to sleep, and then waking up another 9 minutes later. Anyway, sleep. Yeah, so I had caffeine later in the day on that Friday. I didn't sleep the best. I had work this Saturday, and around 4, I started to crash. I was like, oh my God, how am I supposed to go out to this comedy show? It's in Dallas. But I got a second wind, but it was because I had a coffee late in the day. Okay, so then we go to the comedy show, had so much fun. I was down. I would have been down to go out, but my friend had to get back home. And I got home and I just decided to stay up until 2 a.m. Just doing rants not on Snapchat, on Instagram, and watching TV. So another night of poor sleep. And again, just that one double drink. Wow. The next day I felt so just like tired, lazy. I didn't want to do anything. I think I got to the gym around like 11, which is a lot later in the day than I would like. And I didn't want to do anything the rest of the day. I don't think I went to the grocery store. I don't think I cooked because, I was like, I'll just do everything else tomorrow. So just the one drink. And a lot of people may not be aware of what alcohol can do to your body. So I'm really feeling like I don't really want to drink anymore. Again, maybe on special occasions, we'll see. But the overall goal eventually would be, like to not drink. And I don't drink a lot, like I don't have a drink at home. If I'm stressed, I don't have a drink. I don't feel the need to, oh my God, I've had a really bad day, I want to drink. I will drink if I'm going out with dinner with my friends, and if we might want to go out that night, then I'll probably have a drink. If we are out, okay, I'm taking shots, like to dance or whatever. If I go to a show, stuff like that. But generally throughout the day or throughout the weeks, if it's just regular life, yeah, I don't really drink alcohol. I don't like the taste of it. You know, if we're going to brunch, I think that's going to be the hardest for me, is if we go to brunch, I really want a Bloody Mary. I don't think a virgin Bloody Mary is going to hit the same. But we'll see. We'll see. This is just all things in the works, right? So like alcohol, not that great for you. It affects the cells in your body. And the other day, I was listening to Andrew Huberman's podcast. I like to re-listen to the same podcast. Like, he has one of alcohol, but I should probably listen to the one about nicotine again. I've listened to the alcohol, nicotine, and weed cannabis several times already. In the alcohol one, he talks about how, like, you finish your first drink and you feel great, right? But after a while, you don't feel that anymore. And that's usually when people are like, okay, I'll have another one. And you'll have the second or third or whatever, and it gets you up, but it doesn't get you up compared to the first one. And so then you keep drinking because you're trying to like chase that buzz or whatever. Or a lot of people will feel anxious, or let's just go with anxious because I can't think of another word. So then they'll drink to not feel anxious. But it really just makes you more anxious the next day, like anxiety, stuff like that. So it really isn't that good for you. And I can't remember all of the technical sciencey stuff that he talks about, but it is what it is. Anyway, I got cut off because my dad called, so I had to call him back. I believe I was talking about alcohol. Anyway, yeah, alcohol is not good for you, in case you guys didn't know that. The act of us being drunk is our body, like, literally we're drinking poison. But it's just so normalized, and everybody does it, and, you know, whatever. And honestly, it's kind of crazy whenever you decide that you don't want to drink anymore, or if you go do something with a friend, and you're like, I'm not going to drink, like, there's that stigma of, why are you not drinking? Which is so crazy because it's not good for you. Like, literally, it is not good for you. It ages you. It's terrible for your skin. It's terrible for your body. And people don't really talk about that. Or maybe they're just not aware. But awareness is key. And we want to live a happy, healthy life. And that's my take on alcohol. I'm going to still keep fucking vaping, though. Eventually, I will quit that pretty soon. It's so wild because I will vape for a little bit and then I get rid of it. And then I don't even think about it for a while, right? And then, like, when I think about it again, it could be weeks later, it could be months later. Then I like hyper fixate on how it feels to inhale the sound that the Geek Bar vapes make, the whenever you hit it, the flavor. It's insane. It's probably just fucking my ADHD as fuck, to be honest. So January went pretty strong. I'm hitting the gym consistently. We get to work out upper body again, like check it, them shoulders. Diet is somewhat on track. I'm meal prepping. I'm also tracking my calories right now. Eventually, I will get to macros. I feel like I have to do baby steps because I just know that if it's too many things I need to keep track of, then I kind of just get overwhelmed. So right now, just hitting my calories. I'm making sure that at least 3 meals out of the day has about 20 grams of protein. Should be more, but it should be more, because if I'm actually fueling myself with 150 grams of protein a day, I won't have enough calories left over to have my spicy popcorn, because that's 270 calories for the whole bag. And then I like to put butter on it, which is I think I do a tablespoon of butter, which is like 100 calories, right? Or blah, 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 blah. But we are on track. We're getting the ball rolling. And then, once I am consistent with this, then it's next, climbing up that ladder. You know what I mean? But I'm feeling good overall. There was this one week where I was like, why am I feeling, feel like I'm in a mood, right? And again, it's just being aware of your behaviors and the things that you're doing. It all led down to sleep. Staying up late, drinking caffeine later in the day, like those 2 days. It was that Friday that I had caffeine a little later in the day. Did not sleep well. Went out to the comedy show, tired, drank caffeine later in the day, had a cocktail, a double, stayed up till 2 a.m. My mood that whole entire week after, I was just like very irritable. I can tell, especially if I'm at the gym and if someone is looking at me that's not attractive, I get really annoyed. Especially if they're old. I'm just like, I'm a fucking baby. Like, please don't look at me, you fucking pervert. But that's usually not how I am. And I know that if I'm getting irritable, there's a problem here. And the problem is I need to fucking get my ass to sleep earlier. And it's not just those 2 days, right? So I set an alarm at 5 a.m. I need to be sleeping at like 9:30. So we're working towards that. And another thing that kind of affected my mood, to be honest, but I think my mood was already affected by then, so there was this couple that my ex and I were friends with at our gym. And they, I believe, are maybe like in their 50s, right? They've been married for like 20 years. They have 2 kids together. They were very kind to be our friends and like kind of guide us through marriage, right? So their marriage, they said, was very hard and still is hard. And the both of them go to therapy individually, go to therapy together and stuff like that. And it did make me feel better knowing that, oh, like we're not the only ones that's struggling the way that we are, right? Because other people's relationships are different. And that's because they're with normal people and not a narcissist. But we'll get back to that, right? So me talking to her or him, like we went out to lunch one day and they're just expressing, like different situations that have bugged them and they had to learn to work through that and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. It all sounded great. She even said throughout their marriage, there was 2 times when she was really close to filing for divorce. Things changed, blah, 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 blah. And like during that time period, I was like, okay, like this is normal, right? But deep down, I still knew that it's not normal. His and my relationship, not normal. So the thing is, whenever you are with a narcissist, sociopath, abuser, you can't listen to other people. Not necessarily true. But if you're getting advice from other people, take it with what you will. What you need to focus on is what you feel and what your truth is. So for me, listening to this couple, listening to my ex's dad, listening to his friends, because his friends would call me and they're trying to give their 2 cents or just like trying to help us, right? None of them know what is going on in your relationship. None of them. And those people hear your side and his side, right? And that your partner, who's a narcissist, abuser, sociopath, they know how to talk. They are salesmen, conmen. They know how to lay it down in a way where it puts you in a bad light. You don't even necessarily know exactly what they say about you to these people. So when you're talking to these people who are influenced by the narcissist, abuser, sociopath, whose intention is to confuse you, gaslight you, manipulate you, right? They don't want you to think your thoughts unless your thoughts are benefiting them. Point blank, period, right? Okay, so the only reason I'm bringing this up was because the couple did come to mind recently for me, and I just wanted to reach out to the wife just to say, hey, I've been thinking about you guys. I hope y'all had a good holiday. And, I've been hesitant to reach out, but blah, blah, blah. I, again, just want to say thank you for being a friend and being there for me during that weird time in my life. And she did not respond, which was fine. But then it made me feel, right? And maybe this is just my ego. I instantly was like, I wonder what he's been saying about me. Because you know them, the partner that you were with. You know them. You know the shit that they say about their ex or their dad or their mom, anybody that they are angry with. You know how they are. You know the things that they've said to make you feel some type of way about that person. So you can only imagine or want to know what they say about you, what light they're painting you in to make these other people be on their side. And that's when you have to take a step back and just take the L. And it's not really an L because you don't need people to like you. You don't need people to be on your side, right? If he, master manipulator, has won these people over, and I mean, they are really his friends more than they are mine. Like, he is an extrovert, loves to talk to people, right? But I'm going to be honest, it did make me feel some type of way about it. And I'm just like, I think I kind of like had these, I was just in a mood probably for the next 3 days because I really was just like, oh, is he calling me the narcissist? Is he telling people that I'm the liar and blah, blah, blah? Because one of his emails that he sent me, this was when, I mean, he's psychic and blah, blah, blah. So one of the emails he sent me, I think this was like in the summertime around when I was about to file for divorce. I think I haven't filed yet, but I had just moved out. It was probably the first month of me moving out. And one of the emails was, my psychic abilities, I can sense that you're not letting me go. Please let me go. Like, he's begging me to let him go because his psychic abilities can still sense that I'm holding on to him and that it's not fair to him. What? Yeah. And that during his journey of whatever, being psychic or taking these courses, 3 different psychics have told him that I was the one that was cheating on him. So funny to me. Where would I have had the time to do that when I have work? And also my second job was taking care of this 40-year-old man's emotions. When would I have the time to do that? Meanwhile, his unemployed ass was the one that was cheating. Like, it's so crazy to me. And yes, obviously, it's been about 7 months, I think. Sometimes I'll still have these like random flashbacks or just, flashbacks of things that he has said. And sometimes I'm just like, damn, like that was crazy. Sometimes I'll laugh. Sometimes it just makes me feel very repulsed that a person that I thought I knew right? I thought I knew this person like the back of my hand. I swore I knew him better than he knew himself. Because I like psychoanalyze people and their traumas, and this is the way that they are, and blah, blah, blah. But like, right, his whole being is a whole fucking facade. I didn't know he was abused as a child. I didn't know that his second stepfather hit him. You know, these people only want you to know what they want you to know. Right? So like this person, and it's all honestly a little scary that like this person that you love, you're married to, you're sleeping next to at night, like you think that they love you, but they don't. And I can't even say maybe they love you in their own way. No, because love is not like that. Love is not possession. Love is not control. Love is not making up a lie and involving other people in this lie to make you feel some type of way about yourself. Right? Like one thing that I recently remembered was, this was maybe in like the early years, either in the early years or whenever I had just moved back, and he said, like, you don't ever have to worry about your weight. But then he changed it up and was like, actually, you haven't been meal prepping and you haven't been going to the gym as much and blah, 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 blah. And when you showed me a picture of yourself in your Snapchat memories and you said, oh, look, I used to be big, I thought to myself, used to me, like, insane. But there was this, one of the things that he said whenever we first got together, like dating wise, was his friends know that he only dates girls that are fit. Like one of his girlfriends he had when he was in Vegas, she did fitness competitions. He would never be caught dating someone that was fat or overweight. And I remember when he said this, I was like, okay, well, I don't think I want to be with you if that's what you think of me. Because yes, I was heavier then, but I never looked at myself and thought that I was fat. And one of the things that he said to solidify that thought, to nudge in my security about myself or whatever, was saying that, oh, well, when I was talking about you to my friend David, he was like, oh, the big girl? And I remember thinking to myself, like, wait, he thinks I'm big? That's how they work, right? You can put this defense up when this person is saying something, right? You can be like, that's not true. I don't believe that. That's not how I feel about myself. But when you don't recognize the complete disrespect towards you and it just goes over your head, they already tried manipulation tactic number 1. And you don't respond back with anger or like just walk away in that moment. They hit manipulation tactic number 2, which is saying, oh, well, my friend said this about you. So now that makes you a little unsure about yourself. And that's all it took, is to tell me a lie about a friend saying that, right? He was able to do that with my whole miscommunication shit, because that whole thing about me not knowing how to communicate properly, right? He used his friend Sean. He said, oh yeah, Sean said it's really hard to read you, right? He used his dad. Oh, my dad, he says he has a hard time like understanding what you're trying to say. He used his friend Michael about a situation about the window, right? He was sick. He asked me if I can open up the window. I opened the window, but I closed the blinds because I just thought we were going to sleep with the window open and, whatever. But then he was like, what are you doing? I asked you if you can open the window. And I said, the window is open. I just closed the blinds and the curtain. Because in my head, air's still going to go through. But I don't know. I don't know how any of that works, right? Whatever. But when I did that, he was like tapping his head like I was fucking stupid. And he brought up how he told his friend Michael about the situation, and his friend Michael said, nah, bro, that's just straight up dumb. So these things, flying monkey tactics, bringing other people into the conversation to make you feel some type of way about yourself, to make you second guess yourself. So when I have these flashbacks of the shit that he has said, my mind is just so blown, I'm just like, oh my God, it's so insane. Now I would like to think that if I was dating a guy, well, number one, I can recognize those red flags right on. Number two, that if it ever got to that level of where he's trying to put me down or make me second guess myself or make me feel some type of way about myself that's not positive. And the difference is, what is that difference? There is a difference between someone being defensive for no reason when someone is trying to like communicate to you about the truth or whatever. But there is a difference between being defensive because this person is disrespecting you. So just being aware of what the fuck respect even is if they're coming at you sideways, right? And that situation is kind of difficult. Earlier today, I was on Instagram and I saw this reel of this girl saying, oh, you don't want to obey your husband? You don't want to obey your husband and do what your husband tells you to do, but when the trash man says, hey, put your trash out on the curb, you say, yes, sir. And when somebody else says, blah, 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 you say, yes, sir. But your husband, someone that loves you and is providing for you, wants you to do something and you don't want to obey him, that's why you're single. That is so toxic as fuck. First of all, obey. Obey is crazy. Are they your partner? Or are they your fucking dad? Obey? Bitch, shut the fuck up. I watched that and I was like, so are you in an abusive relationship or what? Excuse me. That was insane. And honestly, I think I was triggered by watching that video because that is the exact mindset that my ex wanted me to have, was to obey him. That if he told me he didn't like that he doesn't want me to go to 7th Street by myself because it's dangerous. And if I don't listen to what he says, then I'm being disrespectful. I even mentioned this to that gym couple friend, to the wife. I said, what is respect? If he said, hey, he doesn't want me to go to 7th Street by myself because it's dangerous, but what if I still want to go? She was like, or I don't think I asked what respect was. I think what is controlling, right? She said that I can respect that that's how he feels, but I can communicate to him that I don't agree and I would still like to go to 7th Street. And that's fine. It's controlling if I say that I still would like to go to 7th Street and he says, no, you can't go. That's controlling. So that is controlling. That is controlling. And if he was speaking to me, he would like something to go off in my head that says, hey, your husband's talking to you. Stop everything that you're doing and listen to the words that he's saying. I remember the first time that man ever said that to me, I was like, what the fuck? So it is very tricky when you are in a relationship like that, because you can misconstrue, I don't know the fucking word. The lines are blurred. You don't really know what's going on in the relationship, right? And when you listen to shit like that girl saying obey, or you listen to your couple friend who, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I think, and this is just me, right? All I know is the few things that they told me about their relationship. And when I talk about how, like, I had shared with her him, being angry and throwing things and blah, 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 and not letting me leave, and her saying, oh, yeah, I know all about that, right? Me looking back on that relationship, if they've been married for that many years and they're still having issues and they're still having to go to therapy and stuff, I don't think that's a healthy marriage or relationship. That's just me. I'm just being honest. I know marriage is hard. Having kids can be difficult, right? But if you're not a team and if you are arguing more than there is peace, I think there's something there that's not right. Do you agree? I don't think you should be arguing every week. I don't think that your partner should be getting mad at you every week. I don't think that there should be this fucking, like, you never really know what you're gonna get, never really knowing how they're gonna respond to you. Let me go back to just that. Never knowing how they're going to respond to you. That was the mindset that my ex had about me. Him saying he doesn't feel safe about sharing how he felt because I would get defensive and yell. I guess my point in this is when you've been sucked into a relationship like this and there has been so much gaslighting and manipulation already, it's very difficult to see what is going on in the relationship. So you gaslight yourself. But if you're the one that's reflecting and wondering, oh shit, wait, is it really me? Then I don't know if you are the problem. If you're the one that feels like you're walking on eggshells, but they're telling you they feel like they're walking on eggshells, but they're the one that's reactive. Right? They're reacting to you and you're reacting to them, and all of these lines are getting blurred and you're fucking confused. I just feel like if you're confused all the time, then like there's something going on, right? And that's where you should go to therapy, but at the same time, therapy for yourself, by the way, because whenever we went to the couples therapy, some therapists aren't aware of what narcissism looks like, or because the partner is so good at masking that they don't see it. But going to therapy with the two of y'all together can be harmful, because that therapist can also be unintentionally gaslighting you. The thing to realize and to understand is not listening to them and how they feel about what you're doing, right? Not listening to all these other people. His friend Sean, I remember talking to him about like how I left the first time and attempted to leave a second time. And he was like, yeah, but you can't just pack up your stuff and leave. Like, you have to talk to him, And I think this was like his birthday weekend or whatever. And I just packed up a bag and I said, you know what? I don't think this is working for me and blah, blah, blah. It's not like I left and didn't tell him anything, right? I did that the first time, but I left a note. This second time, I gave him the courtesy of letting him know. But that's the mistake that you make, is trying to communicate any sense with this person, trying to communicate how you feel, why you're doing what you're doing. It's just giving them ammunition to play you, right? So me telling him, hey, by the way, I want to stay at my friend's house this weekend. And him saying, no, please come back. You said you wouldn't ever do this again. When you moved back in, you said that if you ever felt blah, 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 that you would let me know, blah, 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 blah. And then I come back and then, then he's giving me shit. I'm being punished, right? He's begging me to come back. And then I'm being punished for the fact that I wanted to leave, right? And whatever he tells his friends. So I'm with his friend because it's his birthday weekend, and I'm telling him, like how I feel about what's going on. And he told me, yes, like you can't just pack up your stuff and leave. Like you have to have a conversation with this person, but they don't fucking know. that when you have a conversation with this person is not listening to you. They're not listening to your words, right? A lot of women find out that their husband, narcissist husband, is cheating on them. And instead of deciding for themselves, and it's not just the cheating, it's the being dismissive, it's the putting you down, it's the whatever. They're already doing all of these things on top of the cheating. Instead of them deciding for themselves, this relationship is not going to work for me, I'm leaving. They want some kind of validation, some kind of clarity. And by doing that, they want to confront the partner, thinking that the partner is a regular, normal person and can say, you know what, I've been unhappy and blah, 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 and this is that, blah, 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 blah. That's never going to happen when you're dealing with a narcissist. They lie. They lie. They don't take accountability. They're never going to straight up tell you, oh yeah, I was cheating, I'm sorry. They're not. They might admit to it and then turn it around and say, you know what? Yes, you're right. I was cheating, but it's because you haven't been giving me enough sex. You haven't been doing this. You haven't been doing that. And a woman that doesn't have enough self-worth, self-esteem, and depending on how long you've been with this person, guaranteed your self-esteem and self-worth is not up there the longer you've been with them, because that means they have just played you for that amount of time and manipulated you and gaslighted you. So they shift the blame on you, and for a second you think, oh shit, maybe he's right. If you're coming to your partner about how you feel and they shift the blame on you, that's not a partner. If you go to your partner and you tell them that you're unhappy and you want to leave the relationship and they say, no, please stay, I'll try, this is what I can do. And then the next day they change it up and say, well, actually, there are things that you need to work on too. When you're the one that originally said this isn't going to work, they beg you to stay, and now they're shifting the blame on you. It's not going to work. They're manipulating you. I feel like the energy that I'm having when I'm speaking is kind of like a little heated, but I feel very strongly and passionate about this conversation because it is wild to me how many people are in relationships like this and they just stay. And I completely fucking understand. I stayed with this man for 3 years. I left and I came back, attempted to leave a second time, and I came back. Third time's the charm, baby. But that's not even me leaving 3 times, because several times I said I wanted to leave. We'll have a whole hour, 2 hour, 3 hour long conversation. And the conversation is really him just trying to manipulate me into staying. And it works every time because they're not going to get tired until they get what they want, right? You're the one that's getting worn down by all of the things that they're saying, and right, they know how to say things, it makes sense, and you're like, maybe they're right, and okay, yeah, maybe I should be doing this, and maybe I should be doing that, and they're saying that they would change this too, and they would do that too, and blah, 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 and then you're just like, well, it's like a reset button. It's like literally a game. Literally a game. You are in this game, and by you leaving means you win, right? You win the game. You get to finally leave after all of these levels, and it's like right when you're about to open the door or whatever, the game resets and you start back at square one, and you're like, oh, I guess I'm here again. That's how it is. That's how it is. What do I want you guys to take from this specific podcast episode? You just have to wake up, literally. Wake up. Wake up from this illusion that you're in, because you are. in an illusion. You're not in your reality. You're in their reality. You're in their perception of things. If you feel like you're constantly getting bulldozed over, your feelings don't matter, somehow it's always about them, you're having sex when you don't really want to, a lot, like if they're withholding, they're blaming, they're criticizing, they're controlling. I'm saying these words, right? And these people, my friends, clients have said these words to me and it never made sense. So if you want to do something and they talk you out of it, they're controlling you. If you want to leave and they're talking you out of it, they're controlling you. If they don't want you to talk to your friends, go to therapy, do something that's going to make your life better, they're controlling you. If you want to drink a fucking Fresca, but they say there's aspartame in it and it causes cancer, and they don't want you to drink a Fresca because you're going to die, that's controlling. If you do not feel free to be who you are in this relationship, you are being controlled, you are being manipulated. If you feel like you have to just bend over backwards and let them win instead of picking a fight or whatever because you want to keep the peace, but there's never any peace, you're living in an illusion. You have to wake up and really think about what you feel in this relationship. Do you feel drained, right? Like, think about you. Don't think about things that they've said about you. Don't think about whatever, their feelings, whatever. You think about yourself. Our marriage coach told me that. Stop thinking about how he feels. How he feels is his responsibility. Think about you, what you want and don't want, and how you feel. You know your truth. You know your truth. If you are not intentionally doing something to piss them off, but they're still getting pissed off, it's not you. It's not you. If they're cheating on you and they're blaming you, it's not you, baby girl. They are making a choice. Don't stay because you're afraid that no one else is going to want to be with you because you've gained weight or you have kids. Don't stay because you have this fear. Don't stay out of guilt because you don't want to hurt this person who is intentionally disrespecting you and using you. Don't stay because you think things are going to get better, but it's been 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years and it's still not getting better. If you're still in this phase of maybe it'll get better, I feel like give it 6 months of intentional change. And if it still hasn't gotten better after 6 months, it's not ever going to get better. You are in a cycle of abuse. Abuse doesn't mean that they hit you. It doesn't just mean physical abuse. Abuse is neglect. Abuse is control. Abuse is a lot of things. If you're questioning yourself, if you're questioning, wait, did I remember that the right way? Wait, maybe he has a point. Like, again, there is a fine line that they know how to blur. You kind of just have to listen to yourself and listen to your gut and your intuition. If your first thought, gut, intuition is saying, I don't want to do this anymore, there's a reason for that. And if you feel that way and then you decide to have a conversation with this person and then your mind changes, and that's how it happens every single time, there's something there. The common denominator is them, not you. So I really didn't know where I was going to go with this fucking episode, but I feel like I just got really fucking heated because I've been there. Very thankful to have gone what I went through and left when I did. Very thankful and grateful to have learned what I've learned. right? But to know that there are still so many people out there that are like that, they think, oh, I'm going to say this to this person. And I don't care if it's something I just made up. I'm going to say it to put them down. I'm going to say it so they do whatever I want them to do. Oh, I want them to lose weight. I'm going to say this thing that I just made up in my head because I know it's going to make them feel bad, and then they're going to listen to me and they're going to do what I want them to do. That's fucked up. And the thing about it is, if you're an empathetic person, you're a good person, you're not going to think that that person is doing what they're doing, because you would never do that to someone. I would never be like dating someone and me thinking that they're fat, and the only reason I would want to be with them is if they lost weight. So then I make up a lie and say, like, my friends all think that you're kind of fat. And they know that I don't date fat guys. So if you want to be with me, like, that's insane. Come on. All right, I have to pee really bad. So let's tie all of this in, okay, with the narcissistic shit and the waking up, being conscious of your thoughts and wanting to change and be better, blah, blah, blah. The common theme is waking up. And I think that's actually the title of my last fucking episode. But yeah, just really take a look within. Think your thoughts. Listen to what you're thinking. Write them down and decide, hey, is this benefiting me in any kind of way? And just know your truth. Know that you're a good person. Know that you're beautiful. If you're not having these issues with other people or I don't even want to say past relationships, because you might have been in a cycle of abuse with partner after partner after partner. But if you don't have these issues with your friends, your coworkers, anything like that, yeah, you're not the issue. So listen to your gut, listen to your thoughts, and that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.